Jon Sumrall, Tulane head football coach, joins us on the program. How are you, Coach?
I'm doing great. I appreciate you having me on.
No, I appreciate you joining us. Thanks so much. Hey, are you guys making any changes in plans because of the storm, heading to Oklahoma early or anything like that, or no?
Yeah, we're going to shelter here in place, but we're going together as an entire team to our normal team hotel where we stay the night before our home games tonight and tomorrow night. So just with our guys, we have about half our guys live on campus, about half live off. And with the threat of many of them, potentially being without power, we're going to be together as a group, and we're going to monitor all our school stuff with the guys. We got our academic people kind of on top of some of that with us, and we're also going to try to continue as much of our normal football activities as possible as you deal with the weather.
Yep. Hey, I hate to start with this question, Coach. And I loved you after the 52-zip blowout. You're like, we got things to fix. I'm like, God, incredible. What great answers. And then you really kind of sort of downplayed the officiating. It was sickening for me, especially those last two calls at the end of the game. Offensive pass interference on you guys, the missed pass interference on your tight end, the right side of the end zone, changes everything. You just sort of kind of brushed over it and you're ready to move on.
Well, yeah, and look, I was disappointed. I thought there were some things that weren't, maybe called properly, but there's also a lot of things we could have done within our own power to change the outcome of the game that had nothing to do with the officiating. We left a lot of plays out on the field that we could have done better. And so, I told our team, there's no such thing as a moral victory in this program. It's not okay to lose. Anybody that tells you it's okay to lose, they're a loser. And get away from them. And so we're not pleased with the loss. I am pleased with our guys' effort. I am pleased with their toughness, the way they went about the game. But we still got to, you want to beat a team like that. You got to learn how to finish, and we got to play better in some critical moments. And the officials, they don't win or lose you a game, and we do that on our own. And whether I had some grievances or not with maybe a few things, that's a different issue. But that didn't change our control of the game. We should have won the game without needing any help on that end.
Hey, Coach, I'm going to move on from the officiating, but why don't they have neutral conference refs for interconference games?
Yeah, I like that idea. I think that's a pretty common sense idea that makes a ton of sense to me. The way that the non-conference games work, it's in the contract. It's usually agreed upon in the contract that the visiting team provides the officials. That's not always the case, but I do think you're on to something there where similar to how the bowl games are handled. The bowl games, if two leagues are involved, their officials are not involved. And so I wouldn't mind that at all. I think that's a pretty good idea.
Will AAC refs be in Oklahoma this weekend then?
We will have an American Athletic Conference crew in Oklahoma. Yeah. So we will have one of our crews there.
Coach, you had a 10-point lead at halftime, 20-10, and got outscored 24-7 in the second half? I think I got that right. Why did that happen, and how do you correct it?
Yeah, so that's a great question. Really, we kicked off to start the third quarter, and really did a nice job on defense, got a 3-and-out quickly, and then we had two drives offensively back-to-back that sort of stalled. Our offense in the first half was the only thing that stopped them was themselves, to be quite honest. And through the third quarter to start, we really sputtered a little bit offensively. Defensively, like I said, we started strong initially, and then we didn't play some things quite as clean as we needed to, and not quite as detailed as we needed to, and gave up a couple of explosive plays, really a critical one that was a 4th down and 1 at midfield where we really should have probably had a stop, but we blew an assignment and gave up a touchdown pass that we dropped to coverage, and that's how they tied the game. And just didn't play as crisp. There's ebbs and flows to every game. There's momentum a lot of times in games that swings back and forth, and the third quarter in particular, we really did not play to our standard and didn't play clean. And then, the fourth quarter, I thought we responded. That was probably one of the positives leaving the game was after not playing good football in the third quarter, our group showing some resiliency and maybe fighting back through some adversity and they responded, but definitely did not finish the game the way we needed to in the second half for sure.
Hey, obviously outside distractions don't affect you. The best players play. You bring in the highest rated recruit in the history of Tulane football, the first and only 5-star ever. The quarterback transfer from Oregon, everyone assumed he would start. If not him, it would be Kai. Instead, you go with a redshirt freshman, and Mensa doesn't look like a 19, 20-year-old kid.
Yeah, one of those deals, nothing that Kai didn't do or Kai didn't do. Both those guys did a great job through spring practice and training camp, but quite honestly, there was several moments where Mensa just kept elevating and kept showing that he looked like he could be the guy. And there were a handful of times probably I was discounting that he was really in the competition. And then as soon as I would get to that place mentally, he would come out with a practice or a string of practices where I'm like, I don't know if we can deny this kid the opportunity. And playing time's earned. It's not given out. I don't play favorites. We play who earns the job and the opportunity to play. And Darian understands that he's got to continue to play at a high level or somebody else will get a shot. So he's handled it really well. He's had two really quality performances back to back. There's a couple plays he'd like to have back last game and learning maybe when the journey's over in the pocket at times when you get pressure is something he had to learn the hard way last week. But he's definitely not played like a guy, who got a second start and second career college game action last week. He's played well above that, and he's played with a lot of poise and confidence, and he's led our team tremendously well, and he's engaged with his teammates and inspired and motivated them at a high level. So he's playing quality football. We got to continue to help him grow and continue to just build upon the success that he's had.
How do you shake that nationally ranked Kansas State game and focus on nationally ranked Oklahoma?
Yeah, that's a great question. You can't let one become two. You can't allow the last game to affect this game. And for our guys, it's about, you work incredibly hard all year for 12 opportunities in the regular season. You hope to earn postseason opportunities. And, each game's its own life, its own self. You can't let one carry into the other. And the challenge to our teams this week from myself was just, I told them early this week, guys, keep showing up. Like, I can promise you, if it don't show up, bad things are going to happen. Just keep showing up, and good things will happen. And I really want them to focus on just the process of playing the best they can play and not worrying about what the score even says. I think that's a lesson you can learn from maybe when we got up big in the game and when we got behind in the game. You just fight till the bitter end, and at the end you look up and see what the score says, and if you gave your best effort, you can be proud of the result regardless. But I think our guys, they'll be ready to go. It's a hostile environment on the road at Oklahoma, one of the winningest programs in the history of college football, and another ESPN opportunity for our guys to play a nationally televised game against a ranked team. So if that doesn't get you excited to go play football, then we need to check your polls.
No doubt. Love it. Back-to-back ESPN games, nationwide television audience. That just does huge things for the Tulane football program. Coach, any final thoughts?
No, I'm excited about the direction we're headed. I appreciate you having me on, and appreciate everything you do to cover our team. And thanks for allowing me to come spend some time with you today.
My pleasure. Thank you, Jon.